please help us welcome ESPN's Sarah Spain. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, guys.
How are things in Chicago?
Just glorious.
Yeah?
Really.
Yeah, things
Yes.
are okay. Now,
What's the weather like? How cold is it?
It's actually cold today. It's been pretty nice recently. We had a really good October and a pretty good start to November, and now it's starting to feel a little like fall.
Well, you can always come down to Dallas.
Yeah, because cold
Is
weather.
it 1,000 degrees there right now?
Cold
No.
weather scares us.
This cold weather is the worst.
It really is.
Yeah, I lived in LA for 6 years, which made it easier to come back here because I was like, the weather doesn't fix everything, and Chicago is wonderful, and I'll just have to suck it up, and that's worked so far.
I understand. Now,
Yeah.
you are a born and bred Chicagoan. In fact,
Yes.
often, you try to hide it, but I don't think you do a great job of it.
I don't really try to hide it. No.
Okay.
I am perfectly willing to lead with my bias. Yes.
Okay. So when is, and I ask all of our out-of-state guests this question, when is the last time you were in Texas? I know. I asked the
I
hard-hitting
believe
question.
when I was there for the Super Bowl, when it was freezing
when the ice storm.
and snowing. So there you go.
So you were right at home then?
I did. I felt right at home. Except for I was working like red carpets that had been scheduled to be outside, and they couldn't move them, so it was not warm. And kind of a mess.
All right.
So now I don't mean to bring up a sore subject, but
Oh, geez. Here we go.
we are a football show, okay,
Yeah.
and she's from Chicago.
Yes,
Sure.
yes.
So
Sure.
we can obviously ask about Jay Cutler.
Yes.
Do you whenever Cuddy does it, are you
Yes.
are you aboard the Cuddy did it train? Are you cheering for Jay Cutler? Do you want him to succeed?
So there's two times that Cuddy does it. There's either hashtag Cuddy does it when he makes a fourth quarter comeback, or hashtag Cuddy does it when he throws a fourth quarter pick and ruins the game. So it depends on which Cuddy does it you're speaking of. But I have to admit that I have no idea why. I still am rooting for Jay Cutler to succeed. I have no idea how he has made me think of him as a sympathetic figure, despite years of disappointment. But yeah,
You're
I don't know.
You're a Cubs fan. You're trained for that.
I am. I'm a masochist, I guess, is
Yeah.
the problem. Yeah.
That's more or less it. She is Sarah Spain.
Things wouldn't feel right if things were going well.
Right. Things are only going right when things are going wrong.
Yeah.
Exactly.
She is Sarah Spain of ESPN. Follow her on Twitter at Sarah Spain and check out her fine work on ESPN. You're still writing for ESPNW, yes?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. ESPNW.com, their outstanding site. A lot of great work going on there. We did bring you on here because you are a self-proclaimed Texas college football expert. Did you know that, Max?
I had no idea. This was news to me. That's why it's really exciting.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you guys invited me on because, I've somehow managed to go my entire life without anybody giving me the opportunity to share my cavernous knowledge of Texas football.
It's weird. It's really weird. I mean, we just got done talking high school football if you want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we can rewind.
I mean...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to belabor the topic.
Got it.
That's fair. That's a fair point.
Yeah. So,
I mean, she's
we'll just stick with my wheelhouse, my core competency.
Right.
Sure.
Exactly.
World.
A full slate of games in Texas college football across the state. We start with UTSA taking on Charlotte, 1 p.m. in Charlotte, North Carolina. Sarah Spain.
Well, I think it's probably not smart to pick any team that's named the 49ers this year. So I'm going to go with the fighting Roadrunners.
Okay.
Getting their long-awaited second win of the season.
Okay.
Wow. Well, she clearly, being in Chicago, has her sort of departed from the PTSD that UTSA has given the rest of us. So I'm still going to go with UTSA, though.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm doing here.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling UTSA. Do you know, this is not to put you on the spot, because I bet most people don't know. Do you know who the coach of UTSA is?
I have no idea.
It's Larry Coker. Remember him?
Really?
Yeah.
I do not remember him.
We had him.
Miami national champion.
He won a title at Miami. He is. We had him on the show a couple of weeks ago. Good
How
guy.
could I forget?
Good guy.
Great guest.
Good guy, bad team.
It was a great interview.
11 a.m. Saturday at wherever Old Dominion is. It's UTEP visiting Old Dominion. Do you know where Old Dominion is?
It's in the South.
That sounds right.
That's close enough for me.
Sounds right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right, or is it in like Maryland?
It's probably in Ohio.
You tell us who you're picking, and I will look that up.
It's in North Carolina, so the South.
Sure.
So I
yeah.
know that
Okay.
one.
There we go.
Oh wait, I might not have looked up the right. Old
No,
Dominion.
I think you looked up Old Dominion Freight Line.
I did. I did. It's in Virginia, which
It's
is the South.
in Norfolk, Virginia.
Close enough.
We're obviously
Yeah, I mean,
big
like I
fans
said,
of
guys,
ODU here.
right, yeah. I mean, my cavernous knowledge is at Texas football.
Of course,
Right.
yeah, no.
Just
I
like
mean,
us.
Listen,
So
Just
that's
like us.
listen,
why I
that
didn't
was
know
a
where Old Dominion was.
that was a gotcha question, and I'm
Sure.
sorry.
Sure.
Guys, both of these teams have big bowl aspirations. But I think Old Dominion's going to take this one. UTEP has a pretty cracked defense. Old Dominion's going to pour it on offensively. So I'm going with ODU.
That's very strong, but I'm probably in the same boat. Yeah, ODU.
I'm going to take Old Dominion. UTEP away from the Sun Bowl tends to disappoint. 3 p.m. Saturday in San Marcos, Texas. Georgia State visits Texas State. This is a super bad Georgia State team, but Texas State hasn't exactly been a world beater either, Sarah Spain.
Yes, both teams 2-6, so this should be a real thriller. Panthers versus Bobcats. So I did some research, and male Bobcats on average about 20 pounds. Panthers closer to 150. So my money is on Georgia State. I think a Panther would definitely beat up a Bobcat.
I was not prepared for the scientific element in this
Yeah,
debate.
it's very scientific.
But she has swayed me. I was on the fence.
Yeah.
I'm going Georgia State.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Texas State. I think the Bobcats at home. I think the Bobs get it done. Dennis Franchione.
Whatever,
and company
Homer.
Get a win. 2:30 p.m. Saturday in Houston. Southern Miss visits Rice.
Right. So this game's for the Birds, and it's going to be a win.
Do you
for
get
the
it?
Golden Eagles,
I do.
which is-
I do get it.
Which is, yeah, you get it. Do not confuse the Golden Eagles with the Screaming Eagle, which I recommend that you Google. I also think the game will look similar to that with the Eagles attacking the Owls from all angles. And if you don't get that joke, feel free to look it up.
Okay.
Wow. You see, we're going to lose Greg. He's going to be looking up your jokes for the next 5 minutes
I know,
while we're
yeah.
trying to make picks.
If I'm silent for the next 5 minutes, that's why.
I don't trust Rice. Not at all. Southern Miss.
I hate to say it, but I don't trust Rice, especially against a passing team like Nick Mullins. I like Southern Miss in this one. 11 a.m. Saturday, real slobber knocker in this one. North Texas visits
For one team.
11 a.m. Saturday in Knoxville. North Texas visits Tennessee.
Well, guys, North Texas fired its coach, and they currently have 2 co-interim head coaches. And I'm sure you've heard the oft-said old saying, if you've got 2 co-interim head coaches, you don't have one.
Right.
Who hasn't heard that?
Who hasn't heard that saying? I think the Volunteers are going to win this one in a blowout.
Yeah, this was the easiest one of the day.
Easiest one of the day. I'm taking Tennessee. This is the second easiest one of the day. 6 p.m. Saturday in College Station.
The Aggies better hope so.
FCS team Western Carolina. The Catamounts come calling to Texas A&M.
I'm pretty sure Catamount is a made-up name. There are plenty of other perfectly good cats that you can name your team after. If you start scraping the bottom of the barrel and just invent cat names, I don't think you're in luck. Also, A&M has Lassie for a mascot, and no one's picking against Lassie, so my money is on the Aggies.
Her name is Reveille.
Yes.
We're gonna be really nice to Reveille.
Right, but
Reveille.
she looks like Lassie, so
Sure.
Lassie
She's
always found Timmy at the bottom of the well,
She
so
is
my money's
wonderful.
on the Aggies.
She is beautiful. Max.
Yes, A&M.
I am taking A&M as well. 11 a.m. Saturday, number 13 TCU coming off their first loss of the year, comes home to take on Kansas. Kansas is bad.
Yeah, so Kansas hasn't won a game all year, and they're not going to start this weekend, so next.
Okay.
All right.
Pretty easy.
Yeah.
Max?
No, that was easy. Yeah.
Okay,
That's great.
TCU, that's very good.
Yeah.
2:30 p.m. Saturday in Annapolis, Maryland, SMU visits number 22 Navy, the Naval Academy, coming off a big win over Memphis.
I have never dated a seaman, but I would like to, so I think Navy will win.
Gentlemen,
Me too. Me
You've-
too. I've always
Same-
wanted to date a seaman.
Seaman.
All right.
Really?
Same thing.
Excellent.
Okay.
Okay. 2:30 p.m.
Don't tell my
Let's
wife,
go
but I
Find
have.
some men on Fleet Week.
Yes,
Yeah.
guys. So, gentlemen, if you're in the Navy, just saying, 2:30. We've got two eligible people here for you. 2:30 p.m. Saturday. I'm taking Navy as well.
Take your pick.
2:30 p.m. Saturday in Lubbock. Kansas State visits Texas Tech and Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, while we're on the topic of people I'd like to date, Kansas State likely to be distracted by the blinding hotness of Cliff Kingsbury, so I'm going to go with the Red Raiders. To win.
I thought you wanted to date Bill Snyder.
Yeah.
Yes, that too.
I don't know. Max?
Oh, man. I watched, as I always say, I have watched every Tech game this year. I don't trust them, but they'll win because it's in Lubbock, I think. I hope. I don't want to be writing the article if they don't.
Everything you just said. Like, literally everything you just said. They're so unpredictable, but the fact they're at home gives them the win. 11 a.m. Saturday, the Texas Longhorns visit Morgantown, West Virginia to take on West Virginia.
Ties, both these teams have really great running games, so it should be a tight one. Wendell Smallwood has been great for the Mountaineers. And in my experience, Smallwood always presents a pretty big challenge, but I don't think they'll come up big enough against the Longhorns, so Texas wins.
Interesting. That's interesting analysis that I'm not going to read into at all, Max.
Nope, none here.
I mean, wouldn't you agree that Smallwood has presented a challenge?
I think that Wendell Smallwood has absolutely presented a challenge for opposing defenses.
I think you're just a safer bet when you're betting on a Longhorn.
I think you're probably right, Max.
That's West Virginia.
I'm taking West Virginia as well. And physically distancing from the microphone. Number 20, the one of two ranked matchups in the state this week. Number 25, Memphis, visits number 16, the unbeaten Houston Cougars, 6 p.m. Saturday in Houston.
This is a good one, guys. Two great teams. I'd like to give Memphis a nod because I think Paxton Lynch is not only a great quarterback, but a really, really solid quarterback name. But I still think Houston is going to squeak by in this one. Okay. I'm giving the win to Houston despite Paxton Lynch's name.
Okay.
I'm going with my heart and my Texan pride. Houston, man.
I'm going with #H-Town Takeover.
H-Town Takeover.
Give me Houston. And the game of the week, not just in the state, but in the nation. Number 12, Oklahoma, visits number 4, Baylor, 7 p.m. Saturday in Waco. Your colleagues at ESPN at Game Day will be down there in Waco. Sarah Spain, who you taking?
I think you could really look pretty deep into the previews for this one to find a lot of really great matchups of why which team might win or the other one might take it.
Sure.
But I think the best way to go about it is to really just go by names again. And I think Shock Linwood is probably the best name in football. I think he probably has a career in professional wrestling or porn whenever he's done with football, depending on which one he's best suited for. So I think I'm going to go with the Baylor Bears, their first real competition of the year. And I think Shock Linwood is going to lead them both in name and in skill.
Okay.
Art Briles, a Texan among Texans, would never lose to an Oklahoma team in Texas.
All right. Baylor 41, Oklahoma 38.
I thought you were going to pull the Okie.
Did we agree on every game but like one?
Basically, yeah. I mean, do you know? Well, and clearly, here's the thing. This is clearly 3 college football experts who know their stuff and who
in Texas,
in Texas, of course.
Yeah.
She is Sarah Spain. She is ultra talented. You can't turn on ESPN without seeing her, and of course, follow her on Twitter at Sarah Spain. Sarah, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for your expertise.
You're welcome, guys. If you need me again, down the line, I think I've proven my worth.
Of course,
absolutely, no question.
Yes.
Thanks, Sarah.
Bye, guys.